So as I was saying just a moment ago, I now want to use my weld command to create a 3D object. I want to create a cylinder here out of the two shapes that I've already drawn out for myself. So go ahead and draw out a rectangle for yourself and also an oval, something like I have here, although you don't have to be too careful about it. And then the first thing that I want to do here is I want to make sure that both of my objects are the same width. So select one of your objects and then head up to your width property on your properties bar. And let's see here, I think I'll just round this down to 2 inches in width, something like that. And I'll do the same thing for the oval. So go ahead and select him and set his width to the same width that you just set for your rectangle. So for myself, that's 2 inches, something like this. Okay, great. All right, now the next thing that I want to do is I want to take my oval here, highlight him there, and copy him, Control-C, and then paste him, Control-V. And then the duplicate that I get, I'm just going to sort of move him down here somewhere, maybe something like that, right? In fact, I don't even have to be too careful about where I place him. Just something like this is just fine. Now, the next thing that I'll do is I'll take my rectangle and I will use him to sort of set the depth of the cylinder. So if you want a very tall cylinder, then crank this guy's height up. If you want a very shallow cylinder, then drop his height way down there. Maybe I'll go with something like this, right? And then what I'll do next is I'll select all of my objects, all 3 objects there. You can use your shift key there if you like. And then next I'll head up to the arrange menu and then down to align and distribute and then down to center vertically, align centers vertically, that is. Choose that guy. All right, wonderful. Now the next thing that I need to do is I need to move my objects into position. And I think how I'm going to do this is I'll start with my rectangle here. I'll select them. And then do you remember your arrow keys on your keyboard? Remember we talked about nudging way back when? So I'm just going to nudge this guy up, maybe about there, something like that. Now, you may want to zoom in when you're doing this as well. But in any regard, I'm going to take the second oval here and I'll move him up, something like this. Get him positioned where I want him. There, maybe something like that. Okay, wonderful. Looks good to me. Now for the moment of truth. I'm going to select the second cylinder there, hold down Shift, grab the rectangle, something like this, and then I'll head up to Arrange, and then down to Shaping, and then over to Weld. And I wind up with that. Awesome. Now, of course, I could take the topmost oval there and make him the same color as the rest of the cylinder, I suppose, or I could leave it the way it is. I think it actually looks kind of cool the way it is. Now, I suppose what you could do as well is you could take the topmost oval here, or our only remaining oval, and weld it to the rest of the object. Let me show you what that would look like. So all I did here is I held down Shift and I clicked on both objects there, and then Arrange, down to Shaping, and then over to Weld, and I get something like that, right? Now that may be what you're after, but I think what I'll do is I'll just undo here, Control-Z, and I'll go back to where I was. I think I like this the best. So there's your welding. You can create all kinds of different shapes, and with a little bit of creativity, you can create some 3D objects like cylinders, for example. So there you go. There's your welding in Corel.
To change up.